Hi everyone, and welcome to the Soul Illumination Reading for the sign of Scorpio. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. And that is exactly what we're going to be looking at here today in this reading, Scorpio. We're going to be looking at what your soul most wants you to know at this time. So we're going to be looking at an area in your life that is going to be highlighted by soul or your spirit so that you can get a better idea of a block or a challenge in that area. We'll get advice as to how to overcome it. And then we'll look at an area of abundance or spiritual growth that's waiting to come in on the other side of that for you. So I hope you are all getting excited about entering into your birthday season. Happy birthday to all the Scorpios out there. I have quite a few in my life. And we're first going to start here by pulling a card to take a look at what you're sitting with, Scorpio. Now you are coming into this time with the Hermit. Now, just to kind of preface this, these are general readings, so please only take what resonates. And sometimes the themes can also be highlighting something from the past that is looking to be kind of readdressed now in the present moment. Now, the Hermit here is a beautiful energy to be sitting with internally. This is the energy of going within, and there's a soul-seeking quality that comes through with this card. There's a quality really also getting in touch with what you uniquely bring to every situation. The Hermit is the individual who kind of goes off by himself to rediscover his own magic, and through that, his guiding principle, his guiding star, and he then puts that into his lantern to guide the next steps forward in. So there's a sense of kind of finding your own light in the darkness. And that's very much, even though this is a card that harnesses the energy of Virgo, that's also very much a theme I feel comes forward with you, Scorpio, because you have this ability to go into the depths of your emotional core, kind of deeper than the average person who doesn't maybe have a lot of Scorpio in their chart. And there's a sense of being able to go into that darkness through your emotional plane to really find the truth of a situation and possibly the light of that as well. What is that truth and how can you shine that out into the world? Okay, so let's see. Now in your external environment, very positive. We have, so this is what your soul is highlighting for you right now. There is an opportunity coming in for you, Scorpio, that may also be on the heels of something that feels like a shakeup. The Tower can represent when we have kind of either outstayed our welcome someplace or in some situation or in some behavior, and our soul, spirit, God, the universe comes in and says, we're ready to free you from that. We're ready to free you from the tower you've built up that is now preventing you from being able to shine your light out into the world. And with that comes the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, a fresh start, an opportunity. Now this, I like to say the Tower doesn't always have to have come on the heels of something negative. It doesn't have to come on the heels of you lose your job unexpectedly or someone passes away or, that kind of feeling. There's something here with the Tower where this can actually be on the heels of positive news. This could be like saying, we just found out that we're pregnant. Or it could be where you finally get the news from your work that you were approved to get that job abroad. And suddenly now the tower has to come down because your whole way of life up to this point is now shaken to its foundation because you have to build anew someplace else. So that can be what the Ace of Pentacles and the Tower can represent as well. Now, as your main underlying energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And that is underscored here by the Six of Wands and the Two of Swords, which is very interesting. So the Queen of Wands is the energy of the nurturing mother. It is someone who takes this pentacle, takes this opportunity. As you can see her, she's holding it in her lap. And she understands the dedicated focus, the time, and the commitment that it will take to grow this seed from its possibility, it's kind of its inception, into the future vision of what this seed can become, whether it's the oak tree, whether this is going from the child, the baby child to adulthood. But there's that sense of having that beautiful kind of unwavering focus and the patience that goes with that. So for some of you, you may be, just at the start of a new cycle that is really going to take you to a level in your experience that you've never been to before, but that is really in alignment with your soul, especially with the Hermit coming in. And there's a sense here when the Tower comes in, what the Tower represents is liberating you from the devil. It's liberating you from something that was built up at some point to represent safety and security, but then which became a trap. And why does the Tower have to come down? So again, you can see your star in the night sky that had been being hidden from you. Now, the star and the Hermit are integrally linked because the Hermit reminds us that although the sky might be darkened or although the Tower has not yet come down, we can still find that star and our connection to it from within. So this would be like holding the lantern out of the window of the Tower saying, I'm here, I'm trying, come save me kind of thing. But there's always a way, even in the darkest of times, to be able to shine our light or to connect to our guiding principle. But here, this really, I feel, you're not only connecting to it here, you're having the opportunity, because you have reconnected to that, to actually be able to fully, I really feel, take an opportunity that's coming in for soul growth, to give you the opportunity to shine what you have to shine out there. This opportunity is going to be in direct alignment with that. Now, what's interesting though with the Two of Swords coming up here, there's a sense of not really being able to see a way forward, know which decision is better for you. And with the Six of Wands, it's saying that you were successful in making a decision. There has been something here where maybe you were kind of waffling back and forth for some time and you didn't know. You're like, do I or don't I? This would be like saying, do I commit to this person and do we decide to start to have a family? And you're like, I don't know if I should do it. And then suddenly you do, and everybody comes and applauds you and you have success in that. This could be deciding to leave a place of work after a long period of time where you've been kind of one foot in, one foot out. Don't know if I should do it. Don't know if I should. And you made that decision and it came on the heels of a successful moment for you. But that successful moment caused you to go within to really seek something from within yourself. This was not a light decision made, but it was a successful one. And now I think for many of you that has opened the door to an opportunity and a shakeup in your life, a very freeing shakeup in your life that is either happened or is currently in the process of happening, which is allowing you a fresh start. And you have the opportunity now to really get into the Queen of Pentacles energy, which is one of, okay, I know I may be starting from the ground up, but I know I'm ready to dedicate myself to this next chapter, to this seed, to this new opportunity. And I know it's going to take time, but I'm going to bring everything that I have to bring. I'm going to bring my star to this. Okay, so let's pull the rest of your cards here and see what is the block or challenge you're experiencing right now. We're going to look at that advice from Spirit coming in as to really how to help you overcome that block. And then we're going to get a little more information as to this level of abundance and soul growth that really wants to come in at this time. And look, there's the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as well. Yep, there it is. Soul growth for you guys. This is a big new chapter for many of you. This is going to be a chapter where you really are going to get to see, I think, the light that you have to bring into this world. And that is no small thing, Scorpio. So beautiful. Okay, yeah, this could be around Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands at the heart of your reading. This definitely could be around having children for those of you who are looking to conceive. But this also could be the conception or the inception of a new idea or a reconnection to your spark, your eternal flame. Now, before that, though, your main point of challenge is the Eight of Swords and the Fool. Eight of Swords is a card that really speaks to being stuck, to not being able to see a way forward. And the Fool is asking you to take that leap of faith, off the cliff into a fresh start. The Fool represents the concept of the number 0 in the tarot, which really does speak to kind of that 0-point field. It's almost like wiping the slate clean. He leaves all of his baggage behind and he looks forward to taking that leap of faith off the cliff. There's always that sense of that scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where he has to take that step over the edge and just have faith that his foot will land on something, and it does. And there's kind of that feeling here for many of you. Now, this could be taking that leap into parenthood, and it seems scary, and it seems like how are we going to make this happen? This could be like where you even are just now discovering you're pregnant, and you're like, I don't have the money, we don't have the house, we weren't planning on this, I don't have the right, job or medical benefits, and yet something is coming through very much saying that this is part of your soul's growth. This is part of bringing a major cycle to an end and allowing you to start a new one that is going to be one that you truly can help grow from the ground up. And what you're going to discover your magic in, because you have the Queen of Wands on the other side of the Ace of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is someone who understands how to work with her passions. She knows how to wield them in almost a magical quality. It's why I always see her as representing the witch archetype in the tarot. She blooms where she's planted. She uses her passions like a magic wand, and she makes for herself the necessary things that she wants to have in her experience. So she can grow flowers in a barren desert if she wants, because that's what she wants. So there's a sense here of really moving into your power, moving into your creativity, which is also represented by the Ace of Wands, to allow you to see that there are, to get you out of this kind of, I don't see a way forward. I don't see how we're going to make this work. Now, if this has nothing to do with wanting to have children or conceiving, this could very much be, again, about taking a leap into something new that is going to reignite the flame of passion within you. Whether this is leaving an old job to start a new, whether this is taking that job opportunity in another country, whether this is possibly even leaping into a new relationship that's kind of shaking the foundation of everything you've built for yourself up to this point. This could be like saying, I've been dating for 5 years and it's time now, maybe we were dating long distance and it's time to commit, and I'm going to just, take the leap. Maybe you didn't know how it was going to work out. You didn't know if you were going to be able to find a job. You didn't know if the person was going to move here or there, and suddenly you're like, I'm just going to make the decision. I'm going to move to be with you. And suddenly there's the leap, and you take it. And for many of you, that decision, again, with the Six of Wands, has said it was successful in some way. It is going to lead to your success as well, to this new start. The acorn for the future oak tree. Now, with the World coming in as your final card here, this is the end to a major cycle. Now, this card has been coming up a lot in these readings because everyone is going through a major kind of life cycle end and a new cycle beginning, but we're all kind of at different phases in that, right? A new cycle could have literally ended 2 or 3 years past, and yet we're finally just realizing that we have to let go of themes from that time. Or for some of us, this literally is happening now. This is where we are getting, the request for the, job transfer. We are getting the, pregnancy test that says you're pregnant, whatever it is that says, okay, well, the life before where you weren't a parent is now coming slowly to that end. And the World says it's a major life cycle, and it is coming to kind of a hard and finite end, but it's beautiful. You see her here, she's celebrating how far she's come. She's celebrating all of the lessons she's learned in that cycle, and she's ready to move forward as the Queen of Wands into the next cycle, ready to bring her magic, ready to bring her passion. It's beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to see here what is happening. Now, you have the Three of Cups as your secondary underlying energy, and the Three of Cups represents community. It can represent those who come and celebrate with us, those who support us. It can sometimes represent third parties, meaning another person kind of getting into the mix of things. But for me, what I'm feeling more than anything is that there's a feeling of support that's here for you now at this time. Scorpio. So whatever this new start is, and maybe facing the tower feels a little scary, or taking that leap off the cliff, this is saying that there is support around you, and there is community that will be there to help support you in this next cycle. Now I'm going to pull some clarifiers here, and we're going to get a little deeper into all the cards on the table. So let's see, what else does Scorpio need to know about the Eight of Swords? Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups is the card of the unconditional loving mother. So these two, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, these are kind of the two cards that really represent the two sides of the mother archetype in the tarot, feminine energy. One is unconditional love, and the other one is unconditional focus and support in the physical. So there's a sense for many of you really getting in touch with the feminine aspect of your experience, putting yourself in a state of receptivity. Now, if someone who is looking to get pregnant, the Eight of Swords could be something like you don't quite see how you can become this parent, this unconditionally loving, or you don't know how it's going to work out. Or you don't know how you can support someone in your life who is maybe becoming, entering into this energy. But this can also be too, or sometimes the card, the Queen of Cups, can represent self-care. This is being able to mother ourselves, being able to honor what's in our cup. And she holds that sacred, which is her needs, her dreams, her wants, her desires. And maybe for some of you, there's a feeling where the last cycle maybe did not involve a lot of self-care. And there's been a knowledge somewhere. Yeah, and here's the sun coming in. Oh, I love it. Illumination. I think you've been kind of wandering in the darkness and maybe not taking care of yourself. And there's a new chapter coming in with illumination, the sun, with the spotlight now on yourself and how you can nurture yourself. Maybe this is when you kind of went in to do the soul seeking. You maybe reconnected with a dream of yours that had long been kind of pushed down. And it could be around becoming a parent. It could also just be that you realized, oh my gosh, I have not been nurturing my own needs. I have not been nurturing what I want to achieve in this world or what I want to experience on an emotional level. And with the sun coming in, this is highlighting that very much for you. The sun is the card not only of illumination and kind of turning on the lights in an aspect of our life, but it's also about highlighting the inner innocent version of ourselves, that purest version of who we are, the innocent naked child that wants to come out and play in the sunlight all day long. So there could be, definitely, this can represent children as well, another card that represents a child. So there may be something here where for some of you, you feel there may be something where if you already, let's say, have a family, that the family is being highlighted here. This could be a new start in your family cycle. Maybe you didn't quite see a way to maybe nurture children in your life, or you were maybe even feeling held back a little bit by your family. But this could also be where you didn't see a way to either become a parent, or you didn't see a way to be able to bring out this version of yourself and nurture it as well. And I think for many of you, you've decided to take care of this part now. You've rediscovered the magic within, the dream within, what you want to shine into the world, and now you're ready, I think, to go out there. So with the Fool, we have the Moon. Shows that the way is unclear. I mean, that definitely can create fear and wanting to take, a leap of faith. Yeah, and there's the Ace of Cups, into new love. For some of you, if this is a relationship reading, this can definitely be where you are entering into a much deeper commitment with someone. And there is this fear of, if I do leap off this cliff into this Ace of Cups, the opportunity for a new and lasting relationship, that the way is unclear. There's no guarantee. And that's the way it always is in life. There is no guarantee when we leap off that cliff. That's where faith comes in our life experience. And faith is a very powerful concept. And I think many of us, it's not highlighted as much as it should. Now, we tend to, kind of bring faith in alignment with religion. But there's a sense that faith goes deeper than that. There's a sense that we can get close to spirit and God or the universe or your soul, however you choose to connect to something greater and beyond yourself, that we get to connect to that directly through faith in our own decisions, faith in trusting our own intuition because we are directly part of source, faith that what we put in, what we bravely go towards will end up, we will be taken care of through that process. It's hard for me to explain, but faith is a powerful concept. It's what allows us to continue to move forward. It's what allows us to have the courage to take great leaps of faith. It's also what allows us to experience love on a level in our life that it's very difficult to touch otherwise. Now, with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, these two things together always bring a beautiful result, because the Ace of Cups is what we can water and nurture the pentacle with as we choose to plant it. So this is nurturing a fresh start with your love. Now, for many of you, again, if this is around becoming a parent or deepening a relationship, taking the leap toward a relationship, yeah, the way is unclear. But it is leading to inspiration. It is leading to a rekindling of your soul's fire. The Ace of Cups is also not only a chance of new love, but it's also a reconnection to your spiritual self through your emotional plane. It is a remembering that we are all connected to spirit and that we each hold a cup that is continually overflowing with love, abundance, and dreams and all those beautiful things in our life that we can always go back to. Sometimes we feel like it's depleted, but in reality, we can always go back to the source, which is love. Love for ourselves, love for our experience, and also the remembering of our unique needs, dreams, hopes, things that we need to have met and things that we need to pursue in this world. And it is kind of like a spiritual reawakening when the Ace of Cups comes in. Now, the Ace of Wands is the Five of Cups, and we have the Eight of Swords. So here is where this is the sticky point right here, and really leaning into passion, leaning into this new spark. There is something here around a time in your life where things did not work out. So the Five of Cups shows an individual looking at 3 cups that were spilled. Now there's 2 cups still behind him upright that represents support, but he's focused on the 3 that have spilled, and that can be in direct reference to the 3 of Cups here, that there might have been a sense of community that was lost in the past, or there might have been an emotionally disappointing experience that happened, meaning that you had tried, this could be like having tried to get pregnant previously and it didn't work, and now you have another chance to try again. This could be like you had had a failure in your past romantic relationship and you don't see how you can do that again, and finally you're realizing, but that's something that you need. Self-care is entering into a romantic partnership with someone. This could be even where maybe you tried in the past to take a new job, or you tried to move to a new city, and again, something happened and it didn't quite work out, but now you're having the opportunity perhaps to do it in a different way. And yet the Eight of Swords is coming in here again. I can't see a way forward. I can't see a way past the disappointment. I can't see, and this is for some of you, you can't see how you actually have support, how you actually had support then and you still have support now. So there's a sense here of really leaning into that support to get past and out of your mental plane of, I can't see a way of how we're going to do this, to just feeling the fire, feeling the burn, leaning in to that. It's almost like being cleansed from within by the flame. Now, one of your symbols, Scorpio, is the phoenix. That is the highest potential of your sign, meaning that you are truly, a part of you is burned away to make way for the phoenix to rise. It's like a part of you has to die to be transformed. That's an integral part of your sign, and the journey of your sign on a spiritual level. So don't be afraid of the fire. Let that fire burn. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. So we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. There's a sense here of getting really into the power of hope. The Knight of Swords is someone who, this can actually be very like blunt or cutting communication, someone who just has to share a truth, like it's a verbal vomit kind of thing at times where it's just like, I have to say this, I have to share my opinion, or I can't hold it back anymore. But the Knight of Cups is the beautiful energy of the hopeful romantic. It's the individual who wears rose-colored glasses, who's ready to go on the romantic adventure. He gets his quest from his king, and he is Sir Lancelot going out with all the hopes and dreams of what that adventure is going to become. And for some of you, this might be a part of realizing your own magic, is learning how to communicate from that place of hope, learning how to communicate from, this could even be communicating with another individual in your life saying, you know, for some of you, if you're already in a romantic partnership, maybe this was the, decision here. You're like, I'm going to put in for that job transfer and we're going to live in France. And your significant partner is like, what the heck? You're crazy. No, like what are you doing? And suddenly you get the job offer and you're like, okay, it's now or never. Let's do this. And you're realizing it's something that's so integral to who you are. You've always wanted to live in another country. You want that sense of adventure. And now it's almost like this is the selling point to yourself or to someone else. This is saying, we've got this. We've got this. And it's going to work out. And will you go on the adventure with me? There's a little bit of that. Will you go on the adventure with me? I love that. Now, this could also be for those of you who have a Pisces in your life. Or someone who has a strong water placement. Could be Cancer, Pisces, or another Scorpio in your life. This could be where this other individual is sharing something. There could be a message coming from them. They could be sharing something with you. They could be coming and saying, let's try this together, or I think we can make it work. They might be the one coming to you, Scorpio, to say this. This could also be there could be an Aries person as well, or that could be a placement in your chart. You could have a sun, moon, rising placement in Aries with the Queen of Wands coming in underneath that. So this could actually be getting in touch, especially this is a moon placement in Aries, that for some of you, you could be almost getting in touch on an emotional level with that sense of faith and hope and learning how to communicate from that place for yourself. Okay, so let's see here. Six of Swords, beautiful for the world. That is moving on to greener pastures or calmer waters. That is a card that says it's time to get into the boat and move on together. There's a sense of also transcendence. This card to me always has a very a kind of a secondary higher significance to it. This is when on the mental plane, because that's what the swords represent, our thoughts, communication, and that kind of mental aspect of our experience. This is when we finally realize how to get over the Eight of Swords, that we can't see a way forward, and suddenly we realize, yes, we can do that. I can, yes, I can make more money. Yes, I don't have to cap myself off as to only living in this country. I can live anywhere. I know I can do that. It can also be a card of transcending limitations from previous difficult times in our life, where we can actually say, like, I'm not going to keep my boat docked in this tumultuous place anymore. I'm going to get in and see what is out there on the open sea. I'm going to get in my boat and go on that romantic adventure. And the time is now. And that's where, you close the door on one chapter in your life and you begin that epic quest for the new. And there's a sense of an epic quest, especially with the Hermit coming in here, and the Fool and the Ace of Wands, all of that epic quest. Okay, so we also have the King of Coins coming in. So for right here, that fell off the table. So for many of you, the King of Coins, this is actually a chance for you to really, I think, grow in your relationship with your physical experience, being able to really enter a time where you understand your value. It could also be where you learn just how much you have to offer in the physical experience as well. This could be like you realize I'm getting this this Ace of Coins, and I'm realizing, yeah, I can rebuild on the other side of this world if I want, because I understand how to manage my resources. I understand how to house hunt and decorate again, and all of that stuff. This could also be, though, where you're realizing what you value, and that now you understand fully what it's time to move away from, because of how firm you are in your understanding of what is so important with this new start over here, and what you want to grow, and how you want to take leadership, ownership of that. The kings really represent responsibility, ownership, and leadership. And there can be that sense here of really owning your ability to understand your own value, but also understand what is of true value to you. This would also be like getting into the boat, and you can only take a handful of people or a handful of things, and you understand what that looks like to you as you move on, and what each one of those things, how it holds value for you. There could also be, for those of you who had a relationship with a Taurus, because that is the king of Pentacles as well, this could be that if this is a significant relationship in your life, this could be that the Taurian individual is getting in that boat with you and you are going off into the sunset together. Now, Tauruses and Scorpios tend to have relationships very close together because they are opposing signs on the zodiac wheel. They are 1/7 of each other, and often those are karmic and fated relationships that come through. So for many of you, you might realize if you look in your life that there are prominent Taurus people in your life that have come in to help maybe teach you lessons or to be there at significant times in your life. And this could be one of them. All right, so let's go ahead here. And now we also have the Nine of Cups as your third underlying energy. And that really speaks to a heart's wish. It speaks to having a lot to be grateful for now in your experience, but it also speaks to, here is the Ace of Cups that then takes the Nine of Cups, which is where you're like, everything is wonderful, but my heart is yearning for the final cup, the 10 of, that will make this the 10 of Cups. I'll make this my true dream come true, my true emotional fulfillment, my heart's dream in the physical. And this is that, whether this is the yearning for that relationship that will take you to the next level, whether this is the yearning for a child that will take your experience to the next level. Well, this is just a yearning for a reconnection to the self and the adventure that comes with that takes you to the next level. All of that is here and ready and waiting for you. Okay, and then we have as your final, oh, you have 2 cards. I love it. Interesting. Okay, so we have surrender your addictions. It says, whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. And then we say surrender, and then it says surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. 2 very important things to keep in mind at any time. Surrender to the magic of who you are. You don't have to be anybody special. And I don't want to put it that way and saying that you're not special. But in that, I think we come from this world of, especially now, and I'm in the US, but we have such a culture that's centered around, all the Marvel and comic book heroes. And there's this hero culture. And I think there's something that sometimes that can push us to think that we have to be a hero. There's almost like this anxiety, this extra level of we have to be someone great to be worthy of something, to be worthy of the adventure, or that we have to be something else. This can be where we're constantly self-judging, that we are not perfect. We don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers. We don't see the way clearly. And this is saying, honor who you are, that just by being you, you are unique. That's the hermit. He understands only he can shine his magic into the world. And that is the real lesson that we all have to learn as human beings is that, yes, we are all connected, but in order for our connection to be beautiful and to grow and to shine in it, and to really be at its most powerful, we have to first connect with what we uniquely bring to that collective whole. Now, surrender your addictions. It does, I like how it says, of course, all the usual things that we immediately think about, substances, sex, but then it says overworking. Now, there are things that sometimes we forget can actually be addictions that can take us down. We could be addicted to negative self-talk, to always putting ourselves down. We could be addicted to working out too much because we feel that we have to look a certain way and be a certain way. And it's where anything in your experience, even if it might look positive on paper, is something that without it, you don't feel like you're magical. You don't feel like you're worthy of something. And this is saying surrender your addiction in that area to something that you feel makes you worthy of love, makes you worthy of recognition, makes you worthy of just other people being there for you, and realize that you can just be you. You don't have to work out 12 hours a day. You don't have to prove to people that you have a superpower. You don't have to, take substances to to dull the pain that something, to dull the pain of maybe the fear of taking a leap into the new. It's just saying have faith in yourself. There's a strong feeling of faith coming through. I'm going to just pull a couple cards to the surrender your addictions to just see what wants to come through for that, so we can get a little clarity here. Six of Cups. Yeah, you might be addicted to something from the past. It could be a past way of being. It could be a bad habit that you picked up. And we have the Knight of Cups. Pisces again, Piscean energy coming in again. This could be a Pisces from your past. It could be it could be like where you are almost like addicted to going back to a person perhaps from your past. This could be like where you lean on somebody from the past in your life. This could also be where maybe you were in a past relationship with a Pisces that didn't work out, and you are doing things, maybe you developed a habit that was in direct relationship to this person. This could also be, and again, it could be also, a strong water placement. It could also be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But this could also be too where there's something from your past, or I get the feeling maybe you wanted to be this hopeful romantic. Maybe that's who you were at the heart of yourself. You were this individual who wanted to go out on that epic quest for love with the rose-colored glasses on. And something happened in your past, whether it was how you were raised and you weren't able to embrace this part of yourself. And so you developed a habit or an addiction around that could be overworking, where you had to maybe go to work at a young age and you just did that, and you're, there's a loss of innocence a little bit. It could be a time when you weren't able to go out on this adventure, so you kind of got stilted and you created a tower for yourself, maybe based around an addiction, that allowed you to kind of not have to face that. And this is saying, especially with the Six of Cups coming in, it's time to face and make peace with the past. And whatever this Knight of Cups represents, whether this is you and the epic romantic quest that got kind of cut off at the knees through circumstances, or whether this is an individual who represents this to you that maybe took away your innocence. This could be an individual that you approached with open arms and faith, and they were the ones that let you down, or it was an opportunity that let you down. So really, this is saying it's time to make peace with the past so that you can surrender whatever you've put in place around that. You can let that go and just allow your magic to shine at this time, and to allow this beautiful new chance, new cycle, fresh beginnings to follow a heart's dream that is in direct alignment with what you uniquely, it's part of your soul's evolution. and it's beautiful. All right, I will leave it there, Scorpio. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. If you'd like to book your own personal reading to see what your soul would like to illuminate for you at this time, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, I will see you all in your next soul illumination reading. Bye, Scorpio.